good, folks? What is up and how you doing? This is your favorite struggling R&B producer, Valentine, the plug, and I am back with another video, and it is still another R&B cook-up. And I realized that I haven't done a Summer Walker cook-up yet, but boy, I got just a sample for y'all. So I'm gonna walk you through that sample. We're just gonna expand on it a little bit, maybe do a little something with the drums and some bass and some added things, and then we're calling it a day. So let's move into FL. Got for y'all today is just your regular average everyday chord progression. We're starting off with an E minor 9th chord. Of course, I use my chord extensions. Of course, what I've got here is an inverted A dominant 7th chord, and that transitions into an F sharp augmented chord. Here you get an F sharp minor 7th chord, and that goes into a B minor chord with a doubled 5th. And that goes into an inverted B minor 7th chord, and that's basically the entire chord progression. So this is what it sounds like right now. So I'm using a couple of techniques here. I'm using different kinds of chords. I'm using dominant chords, of course. I'm using augmented chords, of course. I'm using chord inversions, and I'm using chord extensions. Please look into those techniques if you're interested in making R&B, because those are essential. Well, I want to say that you can't make R&B without them, but you're adding a lot of important flavor with them. Feel me? Cool. So after this, I started getting out the guitar. Let's go grab the guitar, and I'm gonna just show you what I play. So when it comes to guitar, I wasn't looking for anything interesting. Basically, I was just playing the same chords, but I played them as broken chords. And I feel that even if it's not too intricate, it really adds a nice supplemental layer. So we're starting off with this E minor 7 chord. Added a little hammer on. After that, I transitioned onto the F sharp minor chord. And then, as I have to be on the same fret for the B minor chord, I can just, put a few fingers down and get this. And then I add a little upstroke for a little bit of flavor, and that gets me this. So boom, this is what I got right now, and I really feel like just laying down the drums right now. It's a Summer Walker type beat, so I'm sticking around that 120 BPM. It's the same beat. It's kind of around the BPM that Playing Games is around. Well, now I think Playing Games is a little bit faster. I'd say it's 125, but it really helps with her kind of beats. So this is what we're sticking to. I'm just gonna load up battery, load up some drums, and play a little pattern for y'all. Alright, so currently I am heading into Splice because I want to get my trusty old rain texture. And I have said this before, but I will repeat this again. If you're really looking to create a vibe for your beat, an ambience, if you have a scenario that you're envisioning for your beat, use a texture. For real, use a texture. I go for the rain texture because R&B is something that I associate with rain. Summer Walker songs is something that I associate with rain because there's a lot of vulnerability in her songs, and I feel that a rainy day, sitting in your sweater, drinking your hot tea or chocolate, staring out of the window, that's what I associate most with her music, and that's a compliment. Honestly, it's a compliment to her music that it's so applicable in such a setting. So I'm getting that rain texture. I'm looking for rain, rain, come again. That's the most used rain texture, at least in my beats. I dropped it down. I'm gonna turn down the volume a little bit, and we're just gonna place it nicely somewhere in the back for the ambience. Now, one thing I absolutely do need to be doing, especially with these beats, is adds a little bit of hi-hat roll sounds. That is very important in these beats. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of rolls here and there for some flavor. I keep them nice and short. I like my rolls as like kind of short stabs, not like these long intricate rolls. You know, you don't really have to go off. I don't want to distract from the rest of the beat because the hi-hat rolls are just, they're like little details. They don't need to be drawing attention to themselves because they're not that important. And I feel that at this point I've already done a good ass job, you know, creating an ambience. So I'm heading into Sublab right now. Sublab is a VST that I've been using recently. I was super skeptical about Sublab because I really didn't see myself designing my 808s from the ground up. But the thing with Sublab is you don't have to. You get a customizable template. You can add your effects, what you feel is necessary on top of it, and then call it a day. And that's what I really like about Sublab. Because one thing I struggle with is that none of the 808s that I can find, I've scoured off all kits and I couldn't find the right 808 for what I wanted. And finally I have some more, well, it's easier. It's not a game changer, but it's easier. This is not an endorsement for Sublab, by the way. I'm not running ads or that kind of shit. I just want to put y'all on. So I'm considering ways to add a little bit more variation in the beat, and I think that I want to add a little part where you're hearing snaps instead of snares, a more little gentle part actually, and I think I just might add a couple of filters there. That's perfect. That's what I need. So what I'm gonna be looking for now is a pad, and for that I'm just gonna open up trusty old analog lab, and I think that I'm also gonna open another instance of Contact because I also want a guitar pattern in the background from picked Acoustic, and I want a vocal sample, and after that I think we're calling it a day. Now the cool thing is you can trigger all of these patterns in Picked Acoustic using key switches or the assigned keys. So I need to find these assigned keys, and then I'm just going to be playing a mix of all the patterns. Honestly, I have a self-aware moment, but honestly, you'd be surprised how much of my time making beats is actually just time spent building the layers and getting them right. Honestly, you'd be amazed at how much time I spend on that and how little time I spend on actual melody making. It's amazing, really. This beat doesn't really need anything else. And I think that it's good of me to realize this. I think that there's more power in spending time on the arrangement than there is in power adding things, because I think I've got everything I need. I've got an amazing pad, an amazing percussion loop, the amazing texture. I got dope hitting drums, simple drum pattern. I don't plan on varying on that. I got a good chord progression. I've got all the ingredients I need, and I think that this is the limit of where my expression goes, and I think that everything else should just be left up to the artist. I've added really apparent layers in the piano and the guitar. I've added subtle layers in the pad and the guitar pattern from Picked Acoustic. I'm done. And I'm glad that I realized this, because I think I would have gone into overproducing, and that's really a waste of all the good effort. So I'm calling it quits right here. And I definitely hope y'all enjoyed the video. I definitely hope y'all enjoyed my antics, of course. I definitely hope you felt inspired, or you at least genuinely learned something from this, either in terms of workflow, how I approach things, or whatnot. If you got any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'd be happy to get back to you. And if that ain't the case, then please like, share, or subscribe. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Y'all have it easy now. Peace.